Hi, this week we have a short review for using R to answer a question or solve a problem or need. A series of simple to intermediate use cases for R. Let's say I want to analyze a group of numbers. I can create a vector, and I can call this vector anything I want. But the best thing to do is to choose a name that is 1 or 2 characters, because it will be the minimum amount that you have to type. And with the command line interface, as you may have noticed in previous assignments, it's really easy to have typos. So the purpose of having a vector is so that you don't have to keep typing the same group of numbers or values over and over and over again every time you want to do a function on those series of numbers. So I'm going to create a vector and call it x. And my vector is going to be 4 numbers, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So this could represent a series of scores, billing charges, or other numerical data values. And now you can perform a function such as a sum or an average using that vector called x. So you would use the function such as sum with x, which represents your 4 numbers, 60, 70, 80, and 90, or you could do a mean the same way. Let's say I want to create a data frame, which is sort of like a table. These are rows that represent the entity and columns that represent the data variables. So let's say my entity is going to be a patient, and I'm going to have a table of 6 patients. The columns that would represent the attributes of those patients could be things like name, or in this case, I have first names, age or date of birth, BMI, gender, and there are many, many other types of attributes that would describe a patient. So I can create some vectors here for my data frame. For name, I can have Srini, Esther, Norma, Juan, John, and Martina. I can have all the associated ages. I could have all the associated BMI and all of the associated genders. So why do all of this if I can just quickly type this up and use the data in a tool like Microsoft Excel? Well, Excel works fine when you have hundreds or thousands of records, but once you get past even close to 1 million records, there are record limitations within Excel. Excel crashes, it uses a lot of memory, files can get corrupted, and big data with hundreds of thousands or millions of records, where a typical Excel file would be blown up to be, we'll say, half a gigabyte or more, it's much better to use that data in R than a program such as Excel. So let's move on to an intermediate use case. Everyone wants a dashboard. So you're going to install another package in R called Shiny Dashboard, and I'll just hop over here to R Studio. And on the right lower side of the screen, I would click the install button and I would look for the Shiny Dashboard package. You're going to install the package the same way you've installed ggplot and other packages from previous assignments. From the File menu in R, you're going to select New File and then Shiny Web App. This will bring up a dialog box prompting you to find a file location or a folder location and choose a name. Then what I'd like you to do is, in R, edit the sample script that comes up and change the title of the dashboard to, say, HIM 5129 data or any other different title, and then click the Run Application button to see what happens. And what you're going to come up with is this neat little application of a histogram. And you can see up here I changed my title And I can move this slider bar, and when I change the value, you can see there are different histograms that appear. And now I want you to edit the number of bins to 10 and the value to 9 and run the app again. And what I just showed you over in R, I have actually done that. And you can see by changing the number of bins, you can see I have less categories. And when you first come in here, if you change the value to 9, it's going to look like this. And then you can change the number of bins. Let's say I only want to have 3 bins, and you can see that controls the number of columns in the histogram. So my recommendation to you is start with existing code for something you like. You know, when you see some type of application, some analytics tool, or a dashboard layout in R, start with the existing code snippet and then edit it if it works for you to answer the problem that you're trying to answer. And here I have the code snippet. So a code snippet is just a piece of code. If you try to run this by itself, it won't work. And you can see where I edited the code. The title panel I changed to be HIM 5129 data. And then under the number of bins, I changed that to have a minimum of 1, a maximum of 10, and a value of 9. And you can try changing these to be more or less and see what happens. So go explore and practice.